One. Hello, everybody. How you doing today? I'm your host for today's episode, Marquise. Just covered four with the guys. I got Nick with me. How you doing?
Feeling good, man. Feeling good. Ready for another week. We've been going strong, getting closer to regular season.
That's true. What about you, Terrence? How's it going over there, Dad?
Yeah, feeling great, man. Like Nick said, another week of football, ready to get into this. Can't wait for the season.
Hey, bro. I feel like it's been a real busy week for everybody. To be honest, Nick's getting settled back in Florida. Terrence is taking trips. I just started school again this week. I'm letting y'all know, if y'all want to know, parking at a college campus is a scam. It's ridiculous. Y'all want to know, it's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, they definitely make you pay for no reason. Definitely.
Don't even have enough spots. Just selling hopes and dreams.
It don't even make sense, bro.
I swear, they don't even check. They don't even check to see if you got a parking permit and none of that anyway.
Luckily, I'm in a good spot where I got to park at over at USF, but man, it's crazy. It's a little hectic. But all right, let's get started with this first quarter of the news segment today. We had the Jets. They suffered a loss. I was talking to Nick a little bit before the pod. I don't think it's catastrophic, but it definitely hampers what they were trying to do. Defensive end Carl Lawson came over from Cincinnati. He suffered a ruptured Achilles in practice. He's going to miss an entire season. What do you think about that, Nick?
Yeah, I mean, like we said, it's not that he was, some all-pro player. He wasn't like Khalil Mack or anything like that. But one, the Jets need all the help they can get. And then two, strengthen numbers on the defensive line. And he was definitely ascending. So it's really sad to see, a guy who took a big step last year with Cincinnati, went from having a total of, I think it was 2 career starts to 11 last year, then moving to a new situation, maybe getting more reps and more starts. And his season's taken out from underneath him. So it's real sad to see. Hopefully it doesn't hinder his career and doesn't hinder the Jets season too much.
Nice.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely agree with you. Definitely. I mean, he was an ascending player. It's definitely unfortunate for him as well as the Jets, as they're looking to change pretty much, the culture of the franchise as a whole, bring in some quality guys that can help them try to change, their culture as well as their franchise. Obviously, we know they've been bottom tier for a hot minute.
They've been hot dumpster juice, like you like to say, for a minute. That's not a lie.
So it's definitely, I feel like it's big, especially him, like you say, coming off of some of his best years or whatever. For example, coming into this new scenery here with another team that's, up and coming, just as the Bengals were per se, and to suffer that at this point, I feel like it's, it sucks, but hopefully, he comes back stronger from it for sure. Hopefully.
Definitely. We got to talk about this other team. I think they're hot dumpster garbage, juice, whatever you want to call it. I don't know who deemed them America's team. This is not America's team, but Dak Prescott.
Fraud.
I like him. I do like Dak. His injuries might cause him not to be fully ready for the season. There's conflicting reports on this. There's been the reports that he won't be ready. Then there's the reports he will be ready. But I think the general consensus is that his injuries are going to be a lingering factor regardless going into the season. What do you think about that, Terrence?
For me, honestly, I think it's really big news for the Cowboys because if you want to be honest, they got absolutely no shot without him. Like, if you want to take into perspective what happened last season when he went out, now you don't even have Andy Dalton as a backup quarterback. Who's the backup quarterback now? DiNucci?
Yeah. They only won that one game over Nick's team, right? Or no, they fumbled the bag on Nick's team, didn't they?
No, you're talking about no. They beat us, and that was a Dak.
That was their
Dak
one. Yeah, that was
like
one.
Their big game. Yeah,
that's crazy. Like Terrence said, if he ain't there, he give them the best chance to even get to the NFC East.
Definitely
to win it. We ain't even talk about the Super Bowl because there ain't no hopes of that even with him. But
their defense ain't really there yet anyway, so they ain't making no noise anyway.
What you think, Nate?
I mean, yeah, what I think is the worst part about it was they set the expectation that he would be back. And there's no way that they didn't they just found out this, recently that he wasn't going to be ready to go. I think they were trying to almost pressure him into it. And, because Cowboys Nation, as much as we hate them, I mean, they probably are the biggest NFL fan base, and they were trying to like, quell the flames with them, and just let them know, hey, we're going to be all right. And now that we're getting close to season, they can't mime it anymore. They gotta let it be known that he's not going to be ready.
Yeah, that is true. We had another big news. I didn't actually write this down. This kind of just came through. Jacksonville Jaguars, rookie pick, running back Travis.
Out for the year, man.
Yeah, Travis. I ain't gonna try to say this man's name. I can't even say
ETN.
ETN. There you go. ETN.
3 letters.
Look.
ETN.
Hey, here you go.
ETN. He out for the season. I mean, I don't think it impacts them because I was going to start James Robinson if I was the coach, and ETN would have got some playing time, maybe. What you think, Terrence?
I mean, I think it's big for him, especially going to miss his rookie season with Trevor. They already got that chemistry coming in. For him, I feel like they would have definitely been able to splash him into the offense. Because, I mean, you think about it, they got Marvin Jones, Chanel LaVisca. I might have said his name backwards. I mean, they got, James Robinson. So I feel like for him, I feel like he would have been, kind of like an X factor for them. Yeah, he would have been something come in and change the pace of the game.
Kind of like how we have Kadarius Toney on the Giants. Like we say, he's going to change the pace for them.
Yeah, I feel like he could have changed the pace because for him, if you look at it, they could have had him and James Robinson on the field at the same time, had ETN at slot receiver, whatever. And I feel like, too, what would have helped him or helped them as a whole, having him, is that Urban Meyer wants to bring that, that fast-paced tempo, just like in college, So I feel like that would also benefit him too, because that's what he's used to playing. So I feel like being missing his rookie season, it's going to be tough for sure. But I mean, they do have other playmakers, but I do feel like he would have made a lot. I feel like he would have made a lot of plays for them this year, a lot of big plays for them.
Yeah, like you said, Urban Meyer is trying to bring that faster pace to him. They've been having third down struggles so far in the preseason. So I definitely, the Chiefs have the fast pace aspect of it, but their formations are way different. I think Urban's kind of getting caught up in what he did in college, trying to bring that
spread.
Yeah, bring to the full fold. And it only works so fast. Like everybody in the NFL is fast. Like you got Devin White on the Bucs running a 4.3. Okay, your one receiver that you put in the slot is not just going to smoke him like you think. You know what I mean? Yeah. So what do you think about it, Nick?
I mean, Terrence kind of touched on everything. The biggest part about it was, I know that he probably wasn't going to be the starter, but, we're moving more towards the prototype is Alvin Kamara and Christian McCaffrey. And he's obviously not as good, but that's the type of player that he is. He can come out of the backfield and make a lot of plays for you. And remember, and Terrence touched on it, during the training camp and all that, he was running reps as a slot receiver as well. So they were working to find a way to get him into the offense, regardless of what the role was. Plus, the chemistry that he has with Trevor, getting a rookie quarterback in there, you want as much familiarity as possible. So the fact that you had a lot of new college talent coming in with the team, a college football coach, there's going to be a lot of things that needed to be, and plus the team's just not there. I mean, they're just really not there. There's the potential now, right? But so that could be a bigger hit than people anticipate because he's not Trevor's hype level, but he was a weapon for that offense that you could put in multiple different positions.
That's the thing. You would have wanted to see him grow from rookie season to the. And
I drafted so poorly. I drafted so poorly at running back. He was one of my starting running backs, so I already got a shop for fantasy football.
No, don't even go. Don't even go there. I enjoy fantasy football, like the aspect of us doing it, but I utterly hate how much it gets talked about. Oh my gosh. Like there's this whole segment on ESPN. People tweet about it constantly.
Oh yeah, it's a real thing.
It takes away.
I'm about to turn our group chat into just fantasy during this football season.
No, it
kicked out the group.
It takes away the whole football aspect of it for me. Like people are like, oh, well, I'm gonna take this dude because in fantasy his numbers are gonna be insane. But on his team, he probably won't be I don't know. You know what I mean? It does go based off your performance, but some of it's I feel like it's just weird.
It's like a James White type. He's going to get in, he's going to get catches.
Yeah, screens, like Austin Eckler ain't nowhere near the best running back in the league, but people going to take him in fantasy football.
Oh, because he getting points.
Oh my God. So moving along, we had something funny, I think, very funny. We had one of those good old boys, you know what I'm saying? He wants to blame taunting in football You know what I'm talking about? Giants owner, team that hasn't won in a while. They're blaming rap music for taunting in football. That's where we came to things. But I wonder if he's using that excuse for the 2 fights that have broken out. He had a fight a couple of weeks ago, and then he just had this recent fight at his scrimmage between Sterling Shepard and the Browns' new corner Troy Hill. And the funny thing about this whole fight is that the boys just let it happen. Like the teammates were just, that fight was about to go down and nobody's going to stop it. Only one player went and grabbed Sterling Shepard. It was about to keep going. So what do you think about it, Nate?
I mean, so just let's start with the obvious. 66-year-old white guy. So I don't think anyone's shocked that that's his mindset. That's the unfortunate reality. You know, we talk about representation in the NFL, and these are the owners of the teams. You know, going back to the whole Donald Sterling thing in the NBA. I mean, that's the unfortunate reality is that these guys go out there and they put their blood, sweat, and tears into it, and you got dickheads like this at the top running teams with these types of opinions, and unfortunately, that's the reality of the situation. Now, to the actual fight. I don't want to say I'm glad that they were able to settle, you know, and hopefully squash whatever happened. But I mean, everyone loves to get on Twitter and say like, oh, real men would do, you know, whatever their opinion is on it. At the end of the day, people have emotions. They pour their entire lives into this. And if the teams were able to sit there and watch and let it happen because they knew that no one was going to let something severe happen, hopefully those two could walk away from it and they can all be competition at the end of the day.
I'm letting you know off of like what Nick said, and Terrence can definitely allude to this from playing in college and then playing growing up. Grown ass people fight all the time. Don't I hate like these newscasters and these reporters act like grown people don't fight. Grown people fight in traffic jams, road rage. They fight at work. Like, stop acting like kids are the only people that fight. Like, sometimes somebody need to get their ass beat. I'm not saying
and they always highlight the two opposing teams, but every single year, I mean, remember when Cam fought his own teammates, bro, and he was smiling. Like it happens all the time. Like, get over it. It's gonna keep happening.
It's honestly, like when you're in that type of like competition, and like you just got to think about it. Like what he said was just flat out ignorant. Like even looking at like majority of the league, look at the face of your franchise as a black man. And then you look at, you know, honestly, I feel like this is what happens when you get a bunch of alpha males together. Because everybody out there has that mindset of, like, I'm the best. Yeah, I'm the best. So when you got, like, a group of alpha males going at it, you know, going from the drills, doing whatever, or maybe something wasn't going right for, let's say, Sterling Shepard, but it's going right for Troy Hill, Sterling Shepard obviously can get upset and square up with them and, you know, be ready to fight. So I feel like it just honestly comes with the territory. Like I've seen so many fights in football, but then, you know, it's left there. It's dead. Like you don't talk about it after the fact. It's just, we handled this on the field. We fought, whatever, boom. Like it's left on the field.
It's funny to even think about this because you know how many teammates I almost fought in practice. One of my like real good friends in high school, his name is Romeo. His dad just died. So like, you know, condolences to him. But me and this man used to get into it in practice religiously, like in basketball practice, and then go play together like it didn't happen. So I just wish people would stop acting like
that's how it goes.
Yeah, the stigma that just grown people don't fight and only little kids fight. Like, all right, bro, if only grown people fight, then y'all need to tell these cops and people that just think fighting is full on acceptable that hey, you shouldn't be doing it. Like, I don't know. It's really weird to me because I done seen it, especially in the army. You know, it happens, bro. Grown people is on knuck if you buck, if you want to say it, you know. But all right, we got another one. We got a old man. Larry Fitz says he doesn't have the urge to play football right now, and he will be a radio broadcaster. He said he doesn't have the urge. Maybe it'll change November timeframe. Who knows? But what do you think about that, Nick?
I mean, I'm glad. My obviously I want to see the Fitz play. I feel like he's like, you know, everyone gives Tom Brady credit and all credit's due. But there's another dude that looks like he could play until he's 40 because he just lets his game evolve with his age. But you know, football is not one of those games that you can just go out there and half-ass because you can get hurt. So if he's not in it mentally, I mean, by all means, step away. And he's not even saying that he didn't retire. He just said he doesn't feel it right now. He might be pulling a little Brett Favre, you know, he's just not really feeling preseason OTAs, you know, the real grind. He's like, I've been doing this for decades now. Like this
Like
is
I'm
his third
over it.
decade.
Yeah, you know
Like,
what I mean?
and I'm sure, when they get in the swing of the season, they would take him back with open arms as a, reliable target that Kyler's definitely going to need and D-Hop's going to want on the other end. So
What you
I'm
think?
happy for him.
What you think,
Definitely, for
Terrence?
sure. I mean, for just like you said, I mean, that could be the case to where he's trying to pull that Brett Favre to where he's not putting any unneeded miles on his body. Because, from, personally playing receiver, for a long time, man, like, it don't matter if you running a route and you getting the ball, like you're running. If you don't get the ball, you're running.
You're blocking.
Dummy routes, you're blocking, you're doing a whole bunch of things that just put nothing but wear and tear in your body. So if that's, what he's doing, I don't blame him because at the end of the day, he is a very accomplished player. I don't think he has nothing left to prove because, he won a Super Bowl. So at the end of the day, I feel like at this point in his career, he has more tackles.
He lost, bro. San Antonio Holmes robbed him.
Oh, yeah. My bad. Okay.
Nah, he deserves to have one, but like in all reality, this is gonna lead into our halftime segment, kind of, but I ain't gonna spill the beans. I don't know why you thought either, but you probably in vacation mode still. But
yeah, the Cardinals never won one.
Nah, that was as close as they got to it. San Antonio Holmes is in the back and it was in Tampa too.
Look at this man fact checking us right now. He's like,
yeah, you stick to fact checking. I'm gonna keep talking about good old Fitz. He got more tackles than he got drops. He's a great receiver. He's gonna be a Hall of Famer. I think the only bad thing, receiver is one of those positions as you get older, like Tom can keep playing quarterback because people are blocking for him.
Yeah.
But as you get older, obviously Larry ain't as fast as he was. So, he's missing a step. He's probably not getting separation as much. He's still going to catch the ball and run good routes.
Yeah.
He just ain't getting the separation. And can he still fight for the ball? 100%. But it's just the fact of it. It's nice, you get that extra 2-3 yards off somebody, like Terrence could say, like you get 2-3 yards on someone and your quarterback can put the ball where it needs to be. Like that's less work you got to do because you already just got the separation.
Like Calvin,
it's more so
Zavian Howard, but
it's more situational. I feel like for them, just being able to know, like outside of D-Hop, outside of AJ Green, they have Rondale Moore now, Christian Kirk. You have a guy that's, I know if we need to throw this ball 4th and 1, 4th and 2. 3rd and short, whatever.
Goal line slants, yeah. Like
goal line.
This is a guaranteed catch. If it touches his fingertips, it's a reception.
He ain't letting it drop. You know what's funny? I was just talking about this earlier. Is that I know me and Terrence grew up on it. It's just like if the ball touched your hand, like you're supposed to catch it.
You gotta catch it. Yeah.
Like you better off if you don't think you're gonna catch it, don't even put your hands up. Go get it. So yeah, I will bring up the Jamar Chase thing. He hasn't caught. He had 3 drops. I just want people to know before they get on him. He didn't play last year. He's getting the full swing of it with the scrimmages, the practices, and everything. I think Buddy's still gonna be an animal. His only issue was getting separation in college, and he just dropping the ball now. So it's not even like he ain't separated. He just had a couple drops, and it's only preseason. It's his first action.
I mean, when you're in the NFL, honestly, unless it's like a blown coverage, you're probably not going to be wide open or get too much separation, honestly.
So. Exactly. So it ain't nothing to hang his head on. He'll get it going. We had a battle out in, I think it happened in San Diego. Derwin James and George Kittle or San Francisco. Why did I say it? Well, because the Chargers.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Chargers fans. I know it's a little sad, but they had a battle. Derwin James and George Kittle were going at it. Kittle got the first reception on a tough out route catch. Honestly, it was a terrible ball placement, I think. And
it was almost a pick.
And I really think Kittle just snagged the ball for Derwin, like barely. I think it was a bad pass from Jimmy. And then they had another pass. James picks it off because it was another bad pass. Honestly, it was just it was another bad pass.
It was like the same route. Yeah.
Like it was just one time was in the middle of the field. The other one was like just one-on-one drills. Like both balls were bad balls because
on his back shoulder.
Exactly. The second one, like Nick said, if you put it in his back shoulder, Derwin can't even go back there to get it.
Yeah.
Like either.
Hey, since we're talking about accuracy, how you like Mac Jones? Since y'all, I don't know if he's that accurate.
Show me the regular season. No, you were gonna bring this up, bro.
Show me in the
regular. All right, let's just get there. We weren't even. I wasn't done.
You got Marquise knocking over the mic and shit.
Bro. All right, I'm done. I just had to say something since y'all brought up accuracy. We talked about accuracy. Y'all saying, "Oh, Mac Jones, people was always wide open."
People weren't always open though.
Hey, 70% ain't a fluke. Now I'm gonna just say that.
I just
in
want
the SEC. In the SEC?
And you play for Alabama?
In the SEC, though.
Smith.
In the SEC?
First wide receiver to win the Heisman since, I think, Charles Woodson.
But we talking about playing, but somebody had to give him the ball, though, for him to be Heisman.
I mean, don't listen to me. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Buddy has played a good preseason, it is impressive, but let's not kid ourselves. He is going against second string players. Some starters are just out there to be out there.
All I'm saying is,
Terrence, I'll believe in the regular season.
It's tighter windows.
But he does look amazing.
He does. No, I'm telling you, he looks
making
good.
Tight window throws and everything. All I'm saying is his accuracy up to this point, since we were talking previously about you guys were saying, oh, people are always wide open. And now you're seeing like he's able to make like all kinds of throws.
Yeah. I just feel like it's going to come down to it, regardless of who is the quarterback for you guys. It's going to come down to having just those skill position players. And I don't think you guys have enough of them, to be honest. I feel like it's like a hinder for like both of them at quarterback, because Hunter Henry can't stay healthy. Don't care what nobody says. He can't really stay healthy.
Hey, listen, it's the preseason.
Jonnu Smith would have to boom. Jonnu Smith would have to boom. I think he will, but he would have to big time boom. So we had that.
We okay at tight end too with Hunter Henry. We got Jonnu Smith, Devin Asiasi. We're gonna be all right.
Yeah, but Nick, what do you think about that Derwin coming back? Are you excited to see it?
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the, I think this is going to be his third year, right? And his second year got cut short. We saw how great he was his rookie season. So, yeah, I'm super excited. I hate seeing play, even if it's a team that I can't stand. And I'm neutral about the Chargers. It's not that I hate them or anything, but I hate, period, seeing players get hurt, because regardless of if I like them or I don't like them, if they're hurt, I can't talk junk about them. And I love Derwin James, so I definitely couldn't stand to see him out last year. And hopefully he can make a big comeback.
Yeah, we know why you love him. He's one of your guys.
Yeah.
Hey, but so exactly. So I mean, what I'm saying is especially a young player like that who has huge aspirations. I mean, hopefully he gets back and gets that defense back where it was.
He's the soul of that defense, low key. Like Joey Bosa is an anchor, but like he's the hype man on that defense. I'll say
Joey Bosa's the heart. He's the soul, right? Like, them two are. They're right there. And,
if they're on the same page, they're cooking, because Derwin easily
Chargers fans, it is not y'all's year this year, but I promise y'all have a very bright future. You got the quarterback, you got a defense.
But you in a tough division, big dog. So
the AFC.
I don't know if y'all gonna squeak out a ring on them, but y'all
got a bright future. That's all I'm gonna say.
For sure.
Yeah, y'all gonna win some games. We're gonna say that. Y'all gonna win some games.
y'all gonna stay relevant like you did.
You'll make the playoffs. You might make the playoffs this year, and then you'll be perennial playoffs. But.
All right. So moving on to the halftime segment. What caught your guys' eye this past preseason? Obviously, Terrence gave it away because Big Mouth already knew he was gonna bring up Mac Jones. So
I didn't even write Mac Jones.
Who you got on the paper?
He's got.
I promise you. So these were my two picks. So low key three. So
damn.
As we spoke previously before the pod, I felt like Mitch Trubisky looked good. I thought he looked good. He looked totally different quarterback than he did in Chicago. And that's based off of him starting one preseason game. We ain't gonna jump the gun there, but just saying that one game he did look good. And then also after watching the game yesterday, did Marquise Callaway look really good for the Saints with Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston looked good too. So that's why I said
I'm surprised you said that, because everyone's talking about Jameis, but that catch in the end zone.
Man, he had two of them. He had two.
Well, but you know the one I'm talking about, where he had the pass interference.
Yeah, but I mean, his second one was nice too.
Yeah, they were both.
Now, just imagine if they, if say Mike Thomas would have been back at the start of the season, having both of them.
But my thing is, I feel like that's a really big impact because you don't have Mike Thomas at this point. If you got a guy that you know is, Mike Thomas like making those tough, contested catches, gets open, separation. In the meantime, when you don't have him, you have somebody that can kind of, I'm not saying he's going to be Mike Thomas, but he can fill the void right now.
I feel like it's just not the same, because last year they had a lot more weapons and they had Mike. And this year you ain't going to have Mike for a little bit, and you lost a lot of them weapons. Like Emmanuel Sanders in there, Jared Cook's playing for the Chargers. You don't have Drew Brees. You're switching to Jameis, which we hope, and it should rightfully be Jameis. But,
I mean, at the end of the day, they should start Jameis and keep using Taysom as a Swiss Army knife, because, like you say, you lost a bunch of weapons. So get your weapons on the field.
Exactly. You better go sign another quarterback, and definitely not Josh Rosen, but
I mean, they
another
like
quarterback.
Ian Book, and they got Trevor Siemian. I never liked Trevor Siemian, but I put Ian Book over him, quarterback from Notre Dame. I put him over Trevor Siemian.
Nick, what you got? What did it look like for you for what caught your eye over the past preseason?
Don't say nothing about them Falcons either.
So we're not gonna talk about games here. We let Terrence flex a little bit. I'm gonna go out here with a bold prediction for y'all. I've already put it out there on Twitter if you follow me on Twitter. But Calvin Ridley is going to make All-Pro this season. All right, that's all I'm gonna say. So with the practice, he was cooking literally everybody. They threw the kitchen sink at him, cooked everybody. Zavian Howard, who's been the talk of this offseason, is one of the hottest trade topics because he is. I'm not taking anything away from him. One of the best cornerbacks, and I mean, Calvin ate his lunch. So that's what I'm gonna stick with. So that's my one. I'll give y'all a second one. For me, it is Justin Fields. We spoke about how we were thinking that Andy Dalton was going to start the season, and Marquise's prediction I think was week 8 he would come in.
I mean, they said that though.
But that's what they said. But as we get closer, it almost seems like it'd be idiotic to not play Justin Fields because he's clearly better than. And no takeaway from Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton's a great backup, and I know he had a terrible year last year with the Cowboys, but he's a good pick for a backup. And you have your star that you can put in right now. Allen Robinson has clearly not been happy over the last couple of years. Like, y'all have something going. Matt Nagy, you're on the hot seat, and I don't necessarily think it's your fault. This would be the time to make a move like
It's
that.
crazy because, like you say, Justin Fields, at this point early on in his career, gives him the best chance to win games.
And that's
the weird thing. I didn't mean to cut you off, Nick. No, is like they're not going to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So, like, it's real weird. Like, that it's a weird topic to have right now because all you're doing is trying to win to get in the playoffs, which honestly
is a maybe.
Yeah.
Well, you want to know what I would do, Keith? I would do the same thing with him. The same thing I would do with Justin Fields, I would do with Trevor Lawrence. Like, those guys obviously were highly sought after. So for both of them guys, the only reason you will put them in and let them start week 1 is if you can protect them. If you can protect them, let them go out there and get the experience.
But the thing
because the only way you're going to learn how to play in the NFL is by playing in the NFL. Learning how to be an NFL quarterback is by actually playing. So if you can protect them, put them out there. But if you can't protect them, don't send them out there to get the knees blew out and, things like that.
Fields had the issue. Trevor's played a lot more than Fields. I think Trevor has a lot more games under his belt. Fields, like he started last year for Ohio. So it's like, he hasn't played as much. But I feel like you said if you could protect him, get him out there. But if I was Chicago, I brought this up to one of my buddies. I can't think of his pod. I'm going to shout him out next pod. But he's a big Bears fan, the Fly Route podcast. Big Bears fan, right? I was like, hey, I think it's time you guys probably look into trading Khalil Mack, like sell house. Because, they messed up in the offseason when they let Kendall Fuller go instead of Akeem Hicks. Akeem Hicks' contract was big. He's older. Kendall Fuller, it's not Kendall, it's Kyle. Because of the brothers, but Kyle Fuller is super productive, and you could have kept him, got rid of Akeem Hicks, and then that would have been something to build off because they were weak at corner. Now you're weak at corner, and you ain't really got. They went and got Desmond Trufant, who was banged up last year. He's older. Like, at this point, it's looking like you got to sell the guys you got, and you can get the investment back in turn. Because somebody like imagine the Patriots, you don't need them because you got a bunch of linebackers, but say Nick. They were like, hey, the Bears want to get rid of Khalil. You'd probably be like, yes, sign me up right now.
Yeah, literally.
Exactly.
Honestly, that's any team. I don't care who you got on your roster. If they like, we're offering Khalil Mack, anybody in the league probably a good first round.
Because you can build around Fields, Robinson, and Mooney, because probably Robinson wants to play with Fields, especially if they get that connection going this year. He probably wants to keep playing with him. So you keep them around. You got Common at tight end. If you can shore up the offensive line at least to protect Fields, you got David Montgomery. Y'all can build you're gonna have to rebuild the defense. And like we said, none of us really think Matt Nagy should be on the hot seat because he took those teams to the playoffs with Mitch Trubisky, who he didn't even really
Mitch
want.
Trubisky in a Pro Bowl.
Exactly, didn't even want him and took him there. So the fact that he was making that happen, he should not be on the hot seat at all. But he definitely shouldn't start Andy Dalton. That's just me. So
yeah, he definitely shouldn't. But Andy Dalton is on eggshells. I feel like he mess up, he out of there. They pulling him.
And what's funny? funny talking about both of these teams, like the Patriots and the Bears. They got the same thing going on with the quarterbacks. Cam was injured last year. Andy got injured. You saw him in limited action, but they're both past their prime. You don't know what exactly is going to happen. In both situations, I'd probably start the young guy. What about you, Nick?
Yeah, I mean, I obviously I said, I put Justin Fields in week 1. But yeah, we like giving Terrence crap about Mac Jones, but I mean, he has looked incredible so far to start this year. So yeah, at this point, again, the Patriots, I hate to do this to you, Terrence, but I can't see y'all getting past.
And had a good week too.
No, but what I'm saying is I can't see y'all getting past like the Bills. I mean, that's just the reality of the situation. They're the new juggernaut of y'all's division.
You guys would have to stunt somebody, pretty much, is what Nick said.
Or like if Josh Allen got hurt or something. And
I don't think so. I think we can beat them, honestly, with our defense getting back to shape here. Only thing we need is consistent quarterback play.
Your kid's crying because of that take right now, bro. That's how.
No, sir. No, sir.
But
all we need is consistent quarterback play right now.
Before we go there on that, Terrence, you guys, Mahomes can beat the Patriots. There's no Tom Brady there because he was only losing to Brady, right? Brady's gone, so he can probably beat the Patriots now.
Their defense can't stop a nosebleed, so we'll see.
Lamar plays good against the Patriots, so that's 2.
And Bill Belichick schemes great against him. He barely beat us last year. If they didn't BS us with that fumble.
Has he not beat you, though, every time he's played?
And then if Brian Hoyer wouldn't have took that sack before halftime?
Nick, he missing the point. Ain't he beat him every time he played him?
No.
He only lost. He's what, 2-1? I don't even think he's 2-1. I think he's 3-0 against you guys.
No. Who?
Lamar. I want to say he's 3-0.
Oh, Lamar?
Yeah. He beat y'all in that big game against Brady when people were like, oh, he's not going to win it. He beat them. That was like a Monday, Tuesday night.
No, we just beat y'all last year. In the rain. We just beat y'all last year.
Might have. COVID.
We did. Ain't no might. We did.
It's COVID.
I don't want to hear it. Nah. I want to hear that about COVID now. Y'all
right. Well, if he wasn't out there, he's 2-0 against you. Anyway, moving on to the 3rd and 10 segment. What is the hardest position in football to play, Nick? Give me one position and just explain it.
I mean, I hate to be that guy. You're gonna give me the easy one, but quarterback. I mean, you have to be the field general. I mean, you went there, but I'm sorry, bro. I mean, every team starts and ends at the quarterback position. So, I mean, they're the people who have to go out there and who's the most important team on the Ravens right now? Who's the most important player on the Ravens? Okay, who's the most important player on the Buccaneers? Okay, who's the most important player on the Kansas City Chiefs?
Wait.
Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers.
Rewind.
Okay.
I mean, it is the most important position
we all
in the league.
Said
it is.
That at least the top 6 quarterbacks they would have played for the Bucs last year would have got to the NFC chip.
No, I agree.
Okay.
But who brought in all those players? Who's the reason why all those players went there? That's all true. I'm saying. Okay. So
I wanted a Super Bowl with Trent Dilfer. Okay. It's not the most important
it's the most
position.
Important. It is
the most important position.
It is.
Now, I will say there are misnomers like that. That is a good one. Obviously, Brad Johnson winning with the Bucs in 2002. Obviously,
I'm just saying it's not as how people try to make it like it's the end all be all, and I'm so sick of that. Like it's not because
I think the way the game's going now, it almost is.
So if it's not the end all be all, why are you trying to make it such a big deal for the Patriots then?
I didn't say it was an end all be all. I said who your skill, Nick. Didn't I say skill positions?
Bro, we upgraded tremendously at the skill positions, though.
What I'm saying is we're talking about most.
And we're deep at running back.
Obviously, no, it's 53 people on a football team. So no one person can do it by themselves. But I mean, like, the most important position is the quarterback. I mean, at the end of the day.
What about you, Terrence? What you got for the most important position? Or it's the hardest position to play, not position. Most important.
To switch it up here, I'm staying on the offensive side, but I'm going to go offensive line. I mean, if you think about it, man, like
everybody throwing at you.
Boy, just think about having to guard or, protect your quarterback from Khalil Mack, Aaron Donald, Keem Hicks, all these guys that are just,
it's funny.
Beasts.
If I had to rank the hardest positions for me, I'm going to go corner is first. Corner, I feel like, bro, corner is hard. Like Terrence can tell you, Terrence probably going to have a sorry corner guard him and know he's going to eat him alive, bro. Because you gotta think the corner, like you're trying not to get ripped apart by Terrence.
I actually feel that. I like that. Yeah, that's.
You're trying not to get ripped apart by Terrence and stay in front of him or stay next to him, and then you got to worry about where his quarterback's putting the placement of the ball, right?
Yeah.
So then,
and you don't know where he's going. Before the play
Exactly.
starts, he knows where he's going. You got to guess. Like,
if you're
And you got to be physical. You got to tackle too.
and if
like,
you're
imagine lining up
space.
against Calvin Johnson. Like, you're a corner.
Yeah.
You're like, you're 6'1", you weigh like $185, and then Calvin Johnson's across from you, bro. Like,
Or let's say it's
night.
a stretch play or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, or if you're not playing, like man, and you're playing zone, like, and you don't know when to let go of the receiver and hand them off, like you're hoping like your dude comes over to help, but he doesn't in time. You're like, oh, so you're just stuck.
Nah, corner's tough. I like that pick.
Yeah,
that was a good pick.
I'm going corner first, offensive line second, third is defensive line. Defensive line is, boy, it's hard. Why you look like that, Nick? You see what Aaron Donald be doing?
Well, no, because I think you're going strictly from gameplay, like.
No,
I agree. Like the corner from like game, like literally having to sit up there, and yeah, I really do like that pick,
I play corner. That shit is hard, big dog.
It's hard.
Yeah, no, I like.
I play safety
like the
too.
O-line pick
Play
because I
safety,
think
linebacker.
they say, they always say the center is the quarterback of the offensive line, so I like that pick too. But I don't know. I just feel like the quarterback's literally the extension of the coach, and having to galvanize troops every day.
Now, the quarterback is the most important. It's probably the hardest position to play on the field.
I mean, from a media perspective, like,
I think
if the Rams suck, who were they blaming? It was Jared Goff. It was never Aaron Donald. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's not hard. I think Nick just said it, the media aspect of it.
Yeah.
Like everything that comes with it. I think it's probably
that's what I'm
easy.
saying. Y'all are picking good ones from like gameplay perspective.
Yeah. Like Nick said, from the media and all the other people are like, oh, like you're the leader. Okay. In that aspect, because everybody comes to you, like Tony Romo getting asked questions about T.O. being T.O. and he just don't want to answer them questions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like from that aspect, they hold you accountable for everybody. I get that. That's hard. I'd find it extremely annoying because I wouldn't want to be answering questions about this dude 24/7 or that dude 24/7, So, but I'm glad we came to the consensus corner, offensive line, and then quarterback is easily like harder for everything Nick said, the extra, the media, the pressure, So now we're going to move on to the fourth quarter segment. There's a lot going on in the NFL this year. Some teams that might make the playoffs, might not make the playoffs. We were going to try to see what are the NFL dark horse teams. We're all going to pick a team from each conference and just say like why they would be a dark horse. We'll start with Terrence. Who's your AFC dark horse team? I could just go figure.
AFC? Nah, I'm not even going to pick my team because I don't feel like we're a dark horse. Honestly, I feel like we got our swag at that. So we're going to see. But my dark horse team from out of the AFC, I'm going with for me, I picked two for each. I feel like it's either going to be like the Dolphins.
One.
Yeah. So he said,
I'm gonna go Colts.
Okay, nice. All right, Nick, who you got for the AFC?
I got the Chargers. So I really do like that team. I think that Justin Herbert takes that next step, and then I think the defense will be back and be healthy. Obviously, they're in a tough division. I get that. But, the extra playoff spot this year, I think, is going to grant some good teams the opportunity to make it, even if without winning the division, with winning some games.
And they fixed the line, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I feel about the Colts as well. Because at the end of the day, they're in the division with the Titans. But I feel like if Wentz does play well, I mean, or if Jacob Eason is in there and he's, holding it down until Wentz comes back or however it's going to happen, I mean, their defense is solid. Offensively, we know they have the talent on offense, deep at running back, solid at receiver. So I feel like, they can potentially make a little noise,
I see what you guys did there. AFC, I want Colts. But I like what Nick had to say about the Chargers because let's be honest, their defense hasn't been healthy the last couple of years with Phillip. If that defense can be healthy, we already know Justin Herbert can pick apart a team. And his head coach already said he can air it out this year. Like his coach is giving them the reins to be like, you know what? Sling it.
They tried to pull him back last year. This year.
There's no like tugging the leash. Like he ain't got a leash this year, and I'm excited to see it. Honestly, I wish they could find like another receiver 3. To have. They got Guyton. I think he was a rookie.
Well, what I will say though is to the Chargers fans, don't be surprised if he has like a year like 25 to 30 touchdowns and then like 15 to 20 interceptions. Don't be surprised because like they said, they're gonna take the reins off him. He's gonna still make rookie type mistakes. But I'd rather see him airing it out and maybe make some mistakes to gain confidence. in the long run.
And like you said, to gain confidence, but I feel like that's not even gonna knock his confidence if he throws an interception.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like I think he's got like that Brett Favre mentality that he won't, it won't phase him. He'll be the type more so to rather than get shook to be like, okay, I know what I did wrong that time. Let's watch the game film and we'll figure it out.
And that defense is going to be solid. Chris Harris,
they can definitely erase a lot of those mistakes. Yeah,
Asante Samuel is probably going to be a monster in the slot. Derwin's back. We already know what Joey Bosa does. He's the best Bosa brother, you ask me. So that's going to be tough. For NFC, I got the Cardinals. I feel like they improved a lot. It's going to be pressure in that division.
Yeah, it's tough.
They went 8-8 last year. They'll be fighting for that playoff spot, but I think they could be a dark horse team in the aspect. Zavian Collins and Isaiah Simmons somehow have actually in the preseason, if you've seen them, they look crazy together. They look nasty. And I didn't know how that was going to work, but Cliff Kingsbury has made it work. So it's nice to see. Nick, who you got out of the NFC?
I hate to do this to you, but the Cardinals was literally my pick as well.
Oh, go ahead.
Because I think Kyler Murray is another one. He's going to take another step forward. I think that the offense, they were able to look, obviously their defense was more so the question last year, but their offense looked that good off of 1 year with D-Hop, 1 year with Kyler. Kyler's, going to have a little bit more, more savvy in him now, and he's going to be able to really step up. I think that he's also kind of like one of those revolutionary type quarterbacks where not necessarily his talent hasn't reached that level, but his style of play is, he's like a pocket-sized Pat Mahomes with the way that he makes plays. So
like he like his comp is Russell. He is smaller Russell, honestly. I feel like
but I guess when I say Pat is like he's got like a rocket launcher arm and he can kind of make those weird throws.
Yeah, you be seeing Jit when he be smiling at D-Hop. I feel like he's gonna be fast. He gonna do a lot.
And he's not scared to throw it to him. I hate when quarterbacks,
he ain't even hesitant on it, bro. He'll see two people cover him. He's like, you know what? He's gonna get it.
Yeah, well, that's somewhere.
Yeah.
He did that. He had that one thing where he looked up and he saw Hop getting covered 101 and he smiled.
He's like,
oh, because he knew
in the helmet and everything. Like,
you gonna disrespect that man? So especially having AJ, if AJ's healthy, a lot of good things were coming out about camp with him looking good with Christian Kirk, Rondale Moore. Like, imagine those two in the slot and the two on the outside. Like, good luck. That's an issue right there. And then you're going to have the problem, like, what happened to the Browns when they didn't turn around to get Chad Henne. Kyler Murray faster than Chad Henne. So just imagine you don't turn around to tackle him and you're just covering everybody.
Yeah.
He's gone.
He quick, lightning quick.
Yeah. He look like a badass toddler running away.
He does. Those little legs, bro.
Hey, Terrence
he got off the walker and took off.
Bro, Terrence goes out of that field chasing the boys. He looked like a bad toddler running. But Terrence, who you got out of the NFC?
I'm gonna only give my two picks because y'all picked the same team. So,
my gosh.
I respect that.
For this one, I picked either the football team or the Giants. So both of them, same division, but I feel like Giants, if Daniel Jones don't keep fumbling and turnovers, I feel like they'll be okay. Their defense is always healthy, Saquon stay healthy, and then obviously the football team
they did upgrade. Defense. The Giants really did upgrade in the offseason, and people aren't respecting that enough.
And the football team as well. I mean, with Curtis Samuel, with Scary Terry out there. If we can see the Fitz magic, they could potentially be special out there with Antonio Gibson saying they want him to be more like an Alvin Kamara. Obviously, we know that he's going to get the ball a lot. And then they have Logan Thomas, the tight end.
Yeah,
who's going to be still up and coming, ascending player at the tight end spot. So, it's definitely going to be competition between those two in the NFC East for sure.
Nice, I like that. Nick, who you got for the most improved player next year? Who's sticking out to you? It's Calvin Ridley. Never mind.
I think you already know where I'm going. I already said I made the whole prediction. I have no shame in this one because, bro, I mean. So we already.
He looks tremendous. I'm not gonna lie, he does.
Well, and people, he looks tremendous in OTAs and everything, and training camp in the preseason. But also, you have to realize how good he did in Julio's absence. Now, obviously, he's going to be getting the bulk of the attention this year, and people have book on him. They're going to have a scouting report and be willing to go. But the difference between him and Julio, obviously, Julio is the physical monster. I think he'll be more like a Stephon Diggs and being able to dice people up in his route game. So I mean it. Obviously, I'm biased. I'll admit that.
I just got a question though.
Don't do your man Julio like that, because that man can stop on a dime on a route.
Oh no, I think he's one of the most underrated route runners. But what I'm talking about, I wouldn't compare Ridley to Julio. They're not the same guy. You know what I mean?
So how would you feel he would be the most improved if he had a good season last year?
Yeah, like his season
some
was
guys that are going to
his season
go
was
from like
insane.
here to here.
His
So
season,
it's going to be like a little smaller step.
I guess you could say it's more of a status thing, but more so one solidifying his stature as one of the best wide receivers. I genuinely mean it when I say I think he'll be an all-pro this year. And kind of, I think a lot of people are overlooking the fact that, we lost Julio, and then the fact we drafted Kyle Pitts. Calvin's going to be sitting there like, dude, what about me? Look at what I did for y'all when
Julio went down.
So I guess it is going to be more one. I think he'll improve his numbers. He'll get more targets. I think he'll score more touchdowns and get more yards. Where, last year he had a couple of the top 5 numbers, I think, in receptions, yards, and touchdowns, and he'll crack more towards that top. He'll have like one of those jumps that Devontae Adams had, where, last year and the year before, where it was like, oh, he can't get much better, but then he did. So that's what I'm predicting.
Okay, I like it.
I ain't gonna lie. I don't know how much better he can do, because he did pretty insane last year, to be honest. So I don't know personally how much better he'll do. I still think he's gonna do great. So don't get me wrong. Like, I still think he's gonna do great. I just don't know is he gonna get more touchdowns? I feel like he had 1,300 yards.
Yeah, 1,300 yards, I believe, 13 touchdowns, and then
exactly.
So 101 receptions.
I mean, maybe you could probably take some of his touchdowns away to give to Kyle Pitts, and he'll probably just have bigger chunk plays, because Kyle Pitts is going to be the mismatch in the red zone for sure. So maybe we'll do something like that. Terrence, who do you got for the most improved player?
So most improved player, for this one, I was thinking we was going to do like an AFC and an NFC one, but
go ahead.
I'm going to go with
give me both.
AFC. I'm going Wentz if he's healthy, but if he's not, then I'm going to go with Laviska Shenault from Jacksonville. I feel like, I picked Shenault just for the simple fact that now that Etienne's hurt, I feel like Shenault, he's a playmaker. He's going to be all over the field. So a lot of those plays that might have been designed just for Etienne as well, now Shenault can get those plays as well. And then for the NFC, I'm going to go with Dallas Goedert. So now that I feel like he put himself as
that's a good pick,
the number 1 tight end in Philly, I feel like, people are going to have to put more respect on his name this year.
Yeah, Jalen's going to need a safety blanket.
Yeah. And he going to have Devontae Smith on the other side of him, so he going to have space. That's solid.
That was a good one.
Yeah, I give you that. That's solid. I went homer on this one. I went LJ. I went the Pompano living legend for sure, because I feel like he played average last year. He was like 16th out of the quarterbacks. This year they got him better weapons. I mean, the offensive line did take a dip, so I feel like that's going to be the chancy part. I feel like his weapons are the best he's ever had. He hasn't had better weapons. I just feel like he's going to take another leap. I mean, he already won an MVP, but
I'm about to say, you're low key wrong for that, because you're going to tell me how can I pick Calvin with
because Lamar didn't have
a former MVP, bro.
But Lamar went MVP season and then went like this.
Yeah. So I guess you could say like comeback. Like
more of a comeback than I guess. Yeah. But I feel like he got the best weapons he's ever had. The defense is rolling like they always are. I feel like he's gonna have a big year. Definitely. I'm excited because I need him to, because I'm tired of this fucking bullshit ass narrative. Oh, I'm sorry. We got kids. Listen, I'm so sick.
Run back one.
Yeah, like people. I just want people to understand. Like, people get caught up in these mobile quarterbacks, and people are like, "Oh, people are gonna catch up to him." Blah, blah, blah. I'm letting you know, people never caught up to Vic. You know what happened to Michael Vick? He went to prison and he got injured. If he never gets injured or goes to prison, he tears the league up. Because you know what happened when he got out of prison? He still tore the league up.
Yeah.
The difference between Vic and Lamar, those mobile quarterbacks are not like any of the other mobile quarterbacks. You can't put them in the same boat as those other mobile quarterbacks.
And Falcons fans, if you think we're bad now, I need you to understand and try to remember how horrible those Falcons teams were that Vic played for, okay?
He put the whole team on his back and just said, okay, well, we're going to figure it out.
Literally.
His best targets were Peerless Price and Algie Crumpler, and 99% of football fans would be like, who?
Exactly, Algie Crumpler. But he liked, and you know, it's funny. He liked playing with Crumpler though. He did. He says he did.
Crumpler was good. He had a couple Pro Bowl seasons.
Exactly.
Work done in the backfield. We had a little bit.
So I just want people to know, like, they're not your typical mobile quarterbacks. Like, they know they're the best at those mobile quarterback positions, being a dual threat. Like, you know, as far as how good they run the ball, matching their throwing ability. Because then the underrated ones that people don't even think about that are mobile is Russell Wilson, Kyle Murray. I don't care what nobody says. Mahomes will probably run more than what he does. And then you got Deshaun Watson. Even Josh Allen runs the ball. You know, like, those dudes are just underrated at how they run the ball. But the ones that are dominant and generational talents and players, it's Lamar and Michael. Like, we're not going to lie. And just like Nick said, those years with the Falcons, he was just putting the whole team on his back. He never goes to prison. He doesn't catch those injuries before that. He's a Hall of Famer probably now.
Oh, definitely. No doubt.
Like, I wouldn't question that. And Nick's a Falcon fan. I don't know if it's different for him, but I watch Vic all the time. Him being a Hall of Famer would be easy money right now.
Yeah, I had his cleats and everything.
Yeah, like, he probably wouldn't have won a Super Bowl with those teams.
No, yeah.
But he would have got paid and just been killing it.
He'd have been balling out there. Definitely.
So we got that rookie of the year picks. I'm going Kyle Pitts on for the Falcons, Nick. I feel like Buddy's gonna have a field day. I get to see the speed against, you know, slower linebackers. He's gonna be the number two option. The Falcons got rid of Julio, so he's stepping into that role. I'm excited to see what he does. You know, we haven't seen him preseason. Defense, I'm going Patrick Surtain the second, because let's be honest, the Broncos are loaded on defense at corner. So the fact is, you're going to tell this young dude, like, he might not have to guard the best person because you know who's there. Kyle Fuller is there. So Kyle Fuller might pick up the best person. So Patrick Surtain is probably going to guard someone he could probably bully. And he's going to get a lot of chances, some freebie balls where he can probably jump the route, or just, you know, you saw he had the pick 6 against Minnesota. So I'm excited to see things like that happen for him. Who you got, Terrence?
Yeah, so for offense, I picked Najee Harris. So the only reason I picked Najee Harris, although I don't feel like they had a good of a line, is just because I feel like he's going to get a lot of touches. So he's going to –
his use is going to be crazy.
Just off of that, he's going to get a lot of yards. He's going to get touchdowns. You know, his numbers are going to be, I guess, inflated per se a little bit. And then
we got on defense.
Defense, crazy, because I picked Patrick Surtain as well. Like you said, I feel like he'll be able to go out there and hold his own. We've been seeing what he's been doing so far in the preseason. I mean, he's, you know, came as advertised so far. So, I mean, if he plays the whole season like this, we can see a defensive, you know, rookie of the year be Patrick Surtain for sure.
Definitely. Nick, who you got? Hit me with him.
So I actually had to change a heart on mine. I'm gonna go with Justin Fields for offense. I think if he gets in there, I think that he'll turn a lot of heads. I think that he'll be very, like what we said, electrifying, because he can do it all. I think he's a pretty creative player too. And he's got like that swagger about him too, that I think that rookies need to have in order to play well, because, you know, the timid guys are the ones that get ate up in their rookie season. So I think he's got a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of throwing a bold prediction out there on that one.
He reminds me of a smaller version of Cam, like not how Cam plays, but just how he is, like how he like.
You can tell, and
I
mean
that's what I said before too. I feel like he's a Cam 2.0 because his arm strength and his accuracy is, man.
And even though I really do think he should have never said the league feels slow to him or whatever, I mean, the fact that he has the balls to say that, the fact that he has the balls to say that, I mean, that says a lot about his character. And then for defense, I'm kind of like what you said, Terrence, about usage. I'm going with Micah Parsons for the Cowboys.
Oh yeah, he gonna have to be everywhere, bro.
Well, so he's gonna be all over the place. And then on top of that, if Dak's really as beat up as we're starting to believe he is, that offense is not going to be on the field much. And this dude's gonna have. He's in the middle. He's going to be, facing some pretty poor competition in his own division. So, I mean, he's going to have a good opportunity to put up some gaudy numbers.
All right. That's good. I can get behind that.
I like that Marcus Parsons. Yeah.
All right. Who you got for the sack leader next year, Terrence? One spill. Who? Give me a name.
So, for me, throw a little prediction out there. So, I'm going to say Myles Garrett going to take the jump.
Oh,
so
all right.
He's had double-digit sacks consecutive years. I feel like added Jadeveon Clowney. And honestly, you know, like I said, on paper, their roster from up to down is like that. And I feel like having that potentially blanketed defense out there with their secondary and everything, I feel like, quarterbacks ain't going to have much time with this defensive line. edge rushers.
So we locking him in. Who you got, Nick?
Myles Garrett.
I'll go with TJ Watt.
Oh.
They got him some more help on the defensive end. Obviously, that division, the entire division is like predicated on defense at this point. And honestly, I was gonna say Myles Garrett, but just to give y'all a different answer, I'll go with. I knew one of y'all was gonna pick him.
It's crazy because I picked him or Myles Garrett.
Yeah, so I wanted TJ Watt. I mean, I think those are both great picks. There's a lot of good defensive ends out there, and you could even put Chandler Jones in there as a dark horse. I'm a huge believer in the more good defensive linemen you have, the better chance you have at getting sacks. So I like TJ Watt.
I'm gonna throw a big one out there for y'all. It's a gamble too. I'm going Chase Young. Jay is 6'5", an animal.
He's great.
Bro.
He's great.
He's an animal, and he's stacked up on that defensive line, like you said, Nick, having other pieces. It's weird. His defensive line and the Niners defensive line, those defensive lines are like 6 defensive players deep on the line, which is insane. Like deep as they all have starters that could just leave and go play on another team.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Significant players for other teams.
Yeah, like that's crazy. So I think Chase Young out there, he's gonna have a field day. I forgot how big Buddy was, and so I saw the picture of him and Joe Burrow.
Hey, listen, did y'all see him talking trash to dude telling him he was still in the game? Yeah, you didn't see that? I was like, that's disrespectful.
That's his homeboy, the running back. That's his buddy. They grew up together. It was funny. His buddy was bigger than him growing up. His buddy just stunted and stopped growing. I think he stopped at like 5'9", 5'10". Chase just kept going. Yeah. So it's crazy when you see it.
Still in the game?
Yeah. So we're gonna get to the fan favorite, the overtime segment. We're trying to run through this a little fast. Nick got a hot dinner date, 8:00. He might be a little late. He might be a little late. But we're gonna make sure he get out of here. I'm just kidding. He ain't got a hot dinner today. He going to eat with his mom. Anyway, or he's not going to eat with his mom. He's going to eat with his sister.
Man, you're fumbling all over the place.
Yeah, I'm having a bomb moment, bro. I'm sorry about that too. I said it. I was like this. I was like, bro, you're good. Bro, I was like, is you stupid? In my head, I was like, oh. So I'm glad Nick like that. Nick's a nice guy. I had to get him off the court though this weekend. We played basketball.
Man, after I was y'all's MVP last weekend, but we're not gonna talk about that.
Yeah, Nick got a little stroke on him. He got a shot. He can play in the men's league. So we'll go this overtime segment. You gotta lock in your question. You can't pick the same answer. Okay.
All right, bet.
We're saving that today. So who want to go first? Nick won. You won last week, right?
Yeah, so I'll go first.
Barely, actually. Cheated.
I won 2 weeks in a row.
All right.
2 in a row.
I was the number 1 pick in the 1999 NFL draft. Who am I? Champ Bailey, Dante Culpepper, Torrey Holt, Tim Couch. Who you going with, Nick?
I'm gonna go with Champ Bailey.
Okay, Nick going
out of
Champ.
Georgia.
All right, I'm gonna go Culpepper then.
Okay,
Couch,
neither one of you are right. It was Tim. It was Tim Couch, like you said, Nick. No points awarded to anybody. Way to go, fellas. You guys are doing great on today's test. I had the most NFL receiving touchdowns in 2001. Am I Derek Mason, Marvin Harrison, Jerry Rice, or Terrell Owens? Who you got, Nick?
Marvin Harrison.
And Terrence, who you got?
Can't pick Marvin Harrison. Who's the other people? T.O.
You got T.O., Jerry Rice, Derek Mason.
One. T.O., Jerry Rice, Mason. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna have to go T.O.
You going T.O.?
Yeah.
All right. So it's quite funny that you guys did this. Marvin Harrison had 15, but Terrell Owens had 16.
Damn.
Terrence gets a point there. I'm moving on.
I had to go T.O. I'm like,
I led the league. I led the league in sacks in 2004. Am I Jason Taylor, Terrell Suggs, Julius Peppers, basketball legend, or Dwight Freeney? Who you got, Nick?
I know Suggs won a Defensive Player of the Year one year. I don't know what year it was. And I feel like it was that year. And he might have led the league in sacks.
So you going Suggs?
Nah, I'm going to go with Julius Peppers.
Okay. Who you got, Terrence?
So you went Julius Peppers. I got what? Freeney.
You got Freeney,
Suggs.
Suggs.
I mean, these
Taylor.
are good ones because it could have been anything. Dwight Freeney was a monster too. His
Who's the other person?
undefeated.
Yeah,
Freeney, Suggs, or who?
Taylor, Jason Taylor, Terrell Suggs, Dwight Freeney.
I don't know why something telling me to go Dwight Freeney.
That's who you going?
That's the only other answer I feel like I can choose right now. Yeah.
All right. So starting it off, Jason Taylor had 9.5. He's a beast on Miami, so don't let that 9.5 fool you. Terrell Suggs had 10.5. And Dwight Freeney had 16, but Julius Peppers only had 11.
Oh no! Oh damn! All right, now I'm down.
Terrence got another one, and we're gonna since Terrence is up 2-0, we're gonna let Terrence answer his next question first.
Ooh, all right.
I had you can give me 2 answers for this. You can give me it's multiple answers. I had the most interceptions in the league in 2009. Is it Charles Woodson, Darnell Sharper, Asante Samuels, or Jarius Byard? Can't say his man's name.
Well, it was a tie. Or you saying what you saying? You said
you can get multiple. You can get multiple people. Like you put multiple people in it.
Oh, okay. So you said say that one more time.
Charles Woodson, Daryl Sharper, Asante Samuel, and Jarius Byard.
I'm gonna go with Charles Woodson and what's the other people again? I don't forgot that fast.
This man got a spaghetti for a brain. Darnell Sharper.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Sharper and Woodson.
Okay, Nick, who you got?
Well, I guess I got Samuel and the other Byard that you can't say.
All right. So fun fact, it was actually all of them with 9. They all tied. So I'm gonna break y'all off a point each. The scoreboard currently is 3-1.
But I won then.
Right. So we're going into question number 5. I'll let y'all mortgage some points. So since it's 3-1, Nick, you can mortgage points that you don't have and go in the hole next week. Or
wait a minute.
Exactly. You can mortgage points from next week. There's gonna be 5 questions.
What was that show Around the Horn where you're getting the negatives?
Yeah. You can mortgage your points for next week to catch Terrence. And if you win, you get these points and just your points next week don't vanish. And then Terrence, you can mortgage all 3 or mortgage 2, however you want to break it down.
Well, I can technically mortgage 1 point, right? Because
you can mortgage 1 right now without going in the hole.
Yeah.
You can mortgage the ones next week.
So you got 3. Terrence, are you mortgaging any or what are you doing?
Yeah, Terrence.
Answer.
Yeah, I'm a mortgage.
How many you gonna mortgage out of your 3?
I'll mortgage 1 because then if he what's the name, then he can get.
Yeah, then I'll mortgage 1 as well.
Because you can tie me at 2, so I don't want to be behind you. I got smoked.
Terrence is mortgaging 1.
And... All right, I was mortgaged 2 then. I'll go down 1 next week.
Nick gonna go on the hole next week.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Hopefully you don't go in the hole, Nick, because I'm coming to collect the taxes.
Yo, if I win this one, Terrence would be so mad.
Oh, I'm gonna be. Hey, for the record, I won already.
It was like me and that one.
Nah, this is gonna be funny, and y'all can't pick the same answer. I led the league in rushing in 2011. Am I Marshawn Lynch, Ray Rice, Michael Turner, or Chris Johnson, or Maurice Jones-Drew?
Oh, you went 5.
Who you picking, Terrence?
Oh,
oh my God. Brett, I'm going CJ2K.
Oh, no, bro.
Okay.
I think it's CJ. I think that's the 2K season, bro.
All right.
I'm going CJ2K, bro. I got to.
Nick. Oh. Nick.
But I'm also thinking you finna go Maurice Jones-Drew because I'm like, or because of him. Oh, this is tough, bro.
The league.
Nick, who you
and
got?
I think his best year was 2009. Oh my God. Give me the options again. It wasn't Michael Turner. I know that because his reign was.
You're saying no Michael Turner. You got Marshawn Lynch, Ray Rice, and Maurice Jones Jr.
I don't think any of them ever led the league in rushing. I'm gonna be honest with you. Maybe Maurice Jones-Drew back in 2009. So Michael Turner did back in the mid 2000s. I think.
You locking in Michael Turner or Maurice Jones-Drew?
I know I'm wrong, but I'm gonna go with Michael Turner just because he's my boy.
That boy in the hole.
It was Maurice Jones-Drew.
Oh my God!
No.
Don't tell me we both done got deducted over there.
Neither one of y'all got it right. It was Maurice Jones-Drew.
God.
Oh my! You should have picked. I said I know you going Maurice Jones.
I don't know why I was stuck on 09.
I thought he was gonna do it, so I was like, "Oh, Nick's gonna get him," and then you went away from it. I was like, "Really, bro? Like what?" So Nick
I was thinking
I haven't said it wasn't. I knew
it
it wasn't Michael Turner.
Nick in the whole -1 next week. So
it was either one of them for me. It was Maurice Jones or
that's my pick was CJ2K. I was like that. So his was probably the 09 season then when he did that.
CJ2K was crazy because it was stretch plays and like
just gone. He's
bye. Stretch play to the eight spot. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Every time, and people knew it was coming, and he still did it.
Yeah.
So
couldn't stop it, bro.
No, I couldn't stop it. Terrence is a champ for this time's overtime segment. You got anything you want to flaunt? All right. If you didn't know, for the listeners out there, Terrence is flaunting his little muscles. That's what he's showing off to us.
Hey, daddy muscles, the big muscles.
All right. Yeah. Dad muscles. We're going with that.
Dad strength.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to have Terrence lead us out with what's the word of the day?
Yes, sir. So today, our word of the day is going to be mindset. So just some short quotes or a little bit of terminology for that. So you must tell yourself, no matter how hard it is or how hard it gets, I'm going to make it. Also, you don't lose if you get knocked down. You lose if you stay down. So we have to have a strong mindset. Mindset is something that nobody can ever take from us. So we're talking about football, sports. So at the end of the day, your mindset is something that nobody ever can take from you. So like the guys, one day when sports are over, you always have your mind. So whatever your greatest accomplishment is off of the field, whether it's business ventures or, getting your degrees, whatever it might be, nobody can ever take that from you, especially your mindset. So definitely want to put that in front of you guys tonight.
Yeah, Nick,
I like that.
Terrence hit that right in the head. Positive mindset, got to be positive.
Mind over matter.
Yeah, you just got to have positive thoughts. Manifestation's the best thing,
Yes, sir.
So as long as you can have that going, hope Nick has a good time with his sister on their little date. I got that correct. So I hope that goes good. Thank you guys for tuning in to Cover 4 with the guys. My host Marquise. Hope you guys have a good week. Watch the football because here soon we'll be talking about the regular season. All right, you guys have a good one.
Debates. Looking forward to that.
All right, later.